Hey guys, insight number 3 here. Now, First Nephi chapter 8 will be very familiar because it's where Lehi sees his vision of the tree and the whole thing of the fruit and the people and the great and spacious building and the river and the rod of iron and the mist of darkness, all of that. So, if you're not familiar with it, it's pretty rememberable. And Nephi also has the same vision later, and that'll come next week, and that's in 11 and 12. And what you'll find beautiful in that account is that Nephi says the same thing, a little more in depth, like writing about it because he himself saw it firsthand. So he's not trying to repeat what his dad saw and what his dad saw, what Lehi saw. He told Nephi and family, but perhaps left out some of the smaller details that Nephi included. Nephi also includes what these things are symbolic of, so you can nicely tie up the two. Now there's a little grid in the Come Fly Me manual, and I wrote it out here. So you can see there you go, have a look, take a screenshot if you need to. That's what they mean. But over here, this is your opinion part, and I think this is what's so beautiful about our Come Find Me manual, especially if you're teaching kids and youth. This is their opinion, and it will hit them different than it hits you. They will have a different comment than you would. You might have a similar vibe, but they're going to have a different focus just simply because of their age and what they're going through right now. So questions to ponder around those things. And I would do that as a family, see what you can come up with. It's a really good activity, and I'm glad they included it like that. It's not about knowing, again, all the symbolism, like just going back to Revelation. We don't need to know all the symbolism, but helping to know some of it will help us understand it, and then we can look at why is it like that, and what about this vision that's written here twice we need to know. But I'm going to focus on just the front part of it, because I want you guys to go and look at the rest of the vision and have a look at that and discuss that. But I'm going to focus on the first part because I think that often gets wildly overlooked. So let's go there. So this is in verses 4 through 9, or right up to about 9. Mostly 8. 4 through 8. Go through 4 through 8. So he says, "But behold, Laman and Lemuel, I fear exceedingly because of you. For behold, methought I saw in my dream a dark and dreary wilderness. And it came to pass that I saw a man who was dressed in a white robe, and he came and stood before me." So he's seen this. He's already said, I'm good for Nephi and Sam because they're going to be saved. I know this, but I'm concerned for my other two sons. So he starts basically telling them, because this is their warning. This is their gratitude or their grace moment, their mercy moment, is this warning that they still don't heed, sadly. Anyway. And in 6, it came to pass that he spake unto me, and bade me follow him. And it came to pass that as I followed him, I beheld myself that I was in a dark and dreary waste. And after I had travelled for the space of many hours in darkness, I began to pray unto the Lord that he would have mercy on me, according to the multitude of his tender mercies. So Lehi experiences what this dark and dreary wilderness waste place feels like. So my question is to you is, when have you felt these places? Because I feel them quite often. And maybe that's just my manic depressive mental health issues, but I always see light and good and can focus on that. But naturally to myself, I will find in dark, dreary wilderness places, waste places that aren't pretty, that don't feel good feelings, that don't invoke good spiritual upliftment. I have to actively focus on that, and maybe that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it does take a lot of effort. I don't know. Maybe you feel the same way. I don't know. Maybe I was just meant to experience more of that so I could help other people, or so that I could grow. I don't know, but I experience them often. So how long did you journey in them? If you experience one of these places, how long did you journey in them? Now, left unchecked, I would travel in these places for months, even years, and have done that before. And I don't want to do that again. It is not nice. So I actively focus on light and goodness and Christ and things that uplift, music that's good. I'll read scriptures and say prayers, even if it doesn't necessarily lift me into happy joy moments. It keeps me from sinking further. But it has taken a lot of practice around meditation and many things to get me there. But talking about me, so that's how I felt. So I'm like, what does this feel like for you? And how long did you journey in these places, if at all? Or did you recognize straight away, actually, I don't want to be here? Lehi did that. He's like, I don't want to be here. I'm going to keep looking. And he's like, he began to pray about it. So there's a good question there too. Did you pray for relief? While you were in these places, did you pray for relief? I pray for daily relief. Like, daily, I would pray for relief. Multiple times a day from relief. If it's really bad, every 5 minutes or more, constantly, it helps. But he prayed for relief, guidance, light, and mercy. Because he says there, I pray unto the Lord that he would have mercy on me according to the multitude of his tender mercies. There's a multitude of tender mercies there. God is a God of multitudes of tender mercies, and it's just like a multitude is an unnumbered, huge number. Tender mercies could be a number of different things that you need. But after that, he says, I came to pass, I had prayed unto the Lord, I beheld a great and spacious field. That means it was cultivated, it was ready to harvest. A lot of scriptures will cover this. And he says he beheld a fruit tree, or tree whose fruit was desirable to make one happy. Now you can go look at all the symbolism in this, and it's there. I gave you the little bit there, but look at it and see what you guys come up with. What do you feel it is? And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that first part there. The rest of it is great, and I love it, but we often focus on that and don't look at that beginning part. That beginning part is so beautiful. The rest of it, there's some really great things in there about clinging to the rod. Eva Timothy does this amazing artwork that I love because it's how I always feel, clinging to the rod. She's literally sitting with this beautiful painting creation, kind of photography mixed with painting, mixed with a bit of digital art. It's quite unique art, and I really love it, but she's clinging to I'll see if I can find a picture and put it up. She's clinging to the iron rod and hanging on, and I often think of doing that. That's how it gets for me in those dreary waste places. They don't disappear while I'm holding on to the rod. I'm holding on to that rod, and it still gets really dark and oppressive, and that's those mists coming in, and it can get quite stormy, and I'm clinging to that, and maybe not even progressing, but I'm not letting go either. Because of the tender mercies that happen, I've got the strength to do that. That's one of them. So Nephi's account of Lehi's vision gives us a beautiful imagery of so many tender mercies, and you can find this all throughout this vision, the account of this vision. Have you ever felt dark, dreary, wilderness-like waste places? I think most of us have. At some point, whether temporarily or more long-term, we have all felt that. And how long did you journey in them before you asked for help? How long were you needed to journey in them? Did you pray for relief? Did you pray for guidance? Did you pray for light? Did you pray for mercy? And what did the Lord show you? It was incredible how he showed me. And that would be like a 2-hour video, so we're not going to go there. But think about for you. Ask these questions to your family. What does that look like for them? And what do you learn from the things seen in Lehi's vision in general? What do you learn from them? And what questions did you come up with? What did you want to know? I wanted to know more about the fountain of the water. How does that tie in? And what does it mean to have the great and spacious building floating with a cloud underneath them? Is that meaning anything, or is that just dream visionary imagery? I don't know. Is it important? Probably not. But it's curious, right? So what questions did you come up with? The Come Follow Me manual also invites you to look at the 4 groups of people here in this vision. So you've got those that reached the tree and stayed, those that reached the tree and left, those that got lost in the midst of darkness and just wandered and drowned in the river, and those that went and joined the great and spacious building. So there's 4 groups of people there, or those that were in the great and spacious building, even if they went and joined them. So there's 4 groups there. Have a look at them with your family, and what differences do you notice about them, and why do you think this is? So that's what the Come Follow Me manual suggests to look at on this. So it's a great study, but incorporate the first part about, how long were you lost for? What did it feel like? And what did you do to get out of it? Did you pray for relief? How could you do that better in the future? How could you pray for things to help you get out of those places? Goes really well with the remember, don't forget. Yeah. All right. Hang around. We're going to go over to 1 Nephi 9. I'll see you there.